Hey, I'm Mindie Kniss. Today is World Heart Day, so I wanted to share this brief snippet from last night's Alchemist call with you. We do a very quick heart coherence exercise, and then I answer a question about the heart as well. I thought it might be valuable or helpful to some of you out there, so I hope you enjoy. This has been a thing for me for quite a while now. The very first book that I wrote was this one, The Heart of Consciousness. The next one that I put together, edited, was The Collective Heart. And the one that I'm under contract to write right now with Hay House is Heart Path. So it's sort of been my thing for going on 2 decades now. These are obviously just my opinions. You don't have to agree with them, but I hope you enjoy the following clip. So, first and foremost, if you would like to close your eyes, I welcome you to do so. Sometimes that's a lot easier to just kind of cut out the distractions and the influences from our outer world and just help you a little bit more focus inward. So, feel free to do that if you are in a place and space where you can do that safely. Go ahead and close your eyes just gently. Take a few deep breaths just to settle yourself into the current space, into the vibe that you want to be in during tonight's call, which is whatever you choose to be. And let's just get into it. So, we know that there are 3 steps to creating or getting into heart coherence. And the first is to bring your awareness from your head and down into your heart space. If you want to place your hand on your chest to kind of like help focus that energy or give that a little more sense of like, this is what we're doing right now, a note to your body, you can feel free to do that as well. I do find that helpful, but it certainly isn't necessary. So, with that focused attention, with that awareness brought down out of your headspace, that being the typical awareness that we have from our eyes, from our nose, from our mouth, from our ears, all this stuff right in here is generally where we're receiving all of this information from. So often the head just controls that whole space, right? So we want to take it down on the elevator and focus it right here in that beating center of your chest. The second step is to generate a positive emotion. Gratitude is a really good one. It's a very easy one because there's always something to be grateful for. I recently was in Arizona a couple weeks ago, and I got to meet my brand new nephew named Remy. And I know that like people say that all babies, or like most babies are very cute, but this kid is like cute. He's so adorable. And so I can just think of him and be like, oh, so much gratitude, so much joy, so much love, all the stuff that we want like to elevate in ourselves, not just because it's like, yeah, feel good, whatever, but because it physiologically changes and shifts things in our bodies. So step 2 is to generate a positive emotion, a positive feeling. And I'm going to emphasize that feeling word because I actually want you to feel it, not just think it, right? It's not just like, oh, I'm thinking of these things I'm grateful for, or I'm thinking of these things that I love. Let it sink into yourself and feel it. Allow it to do its thing in your body. And once you've done that, the third step of heart coherence is radiating that feeling throughout your body. First and foremost, allowing it to go through your whole self, and then turning the Care Bear stare out into the world, almost like a mirror or a spotlight or however you want to think about it, sending that good juju out into the world, out into the universe, out into a particular place or a particular people group or whomever you want to send it out to, knowing that when you send it out, it does not at all deplete ourselves. It just generates more, which is amazing. So that is step 3. Take a deep breath, just feel into that. And when you're ready, I invite you to gently open your eyes. Okay, now we actually have a question about heart coherence. So perfect timing. Let me pull up these questions. Okay, this person says, I used to be able to achieve heart coherence very easily. For the last year, often when I go into my heart space, it hurts too bad for it to be the peaceful and beautiful experience it used to be. Sometimes it still is, but more often it just hurts to bring my awareness to my heart because my heart hurts a lot lately. What do you recommend for me to actually be able to get into heart coherence? I need it badly. Thanks. Okay, so it's an important question because this is like a huge part of what we do here is getting ourselves into the right vibe to be able to go out into the world and do cool stuff and make money and impact people and like do great things. So we always need to start with ourselves first. So this is why I was like excited about this question because I'm like, yes, it's so important to ask these things. And the thing that I would recommend, and this is for all of you, not just the asker of this question, the thing that I want to like really, really, really home in on is the distinction between thinking about your heart space and actually being in the midst of it. Now, in certain cases, and I would say this is certain extreme cases, and it might be different for different people. I don't know, but I'm sure it is. There can be an actual like physical hurting of this area in your body. I know that because I definitely experienced that after Sean died. And there was months and months and months that it was like just this ache. But what was that really? It wasn't my heart. The place in the body where a lot of grief is stored is the lungs. So, oh, by the way, they're all right in here, same area of the body. So, like, there was just this intense, like, physical, and I'm not saying like that metaphorically, it literally and physically like ached. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, is this going to be always like this or what is going on here? Because I didn't know that it was like a physical thing. So there can be that. But if it is that, I'm going to suggest to you that it's probably not your heart. It's probably your lung area. And it's just that grief that has been built up and like stuck in there. And yes, that can hurt. Okay. There's that. What it also may be is you thinking about your heart space and bringing all of that emotion about all of the different things. Now, for each one of you, there are different things that we have all gone through in our life experiences. There's really horrendous and terrible stuff that we all of us have gone through to, one level or another. So oftentimes we kind of get those things mixed up, like, oh, that hurts when I like go in there. And I'm going to suggest that it's not that. it's the thoughts about that. It's what you're making all of that stuff mean, and that is up here. It's not actually physically in your chest. So either, these are my opinions, either it's a physical thing that is like truly a lung grief issue, which yes, you can feel that, or it's putting all the weight of all of that stuff of the emotion and the trauma and the bleh from your head and calling that, oh, that's when I go into my heart space. But the heart space is pure. One of the stats that I share at HeartPath is how anger can manifest in the body like you've heard the phrase, the issues are in the tissues. And like there's a famous book, The Body Keeps the Score. So like things that happen to us in our life, traumas, whether they're actual real traumas or like perceived traumas, it doesn't even matter. That stuff like can get stuck in our physical body. And it could be more along the lines of that happening, but I want you to see if you can recognize the distinction there, the difference there. And the stat that I was mentioning is that like anger can manifest itself as cancer. And the rate of what is called heart cancer, it's low, it's so small. It's like 0.01 next to nothing. It's a very, very, very tiny stat. And most people have never even heard of heart cancer. Why? Because the heart can't be angry. The heart is joy and love and peace and like, why? Because it's also like the source of our connection point to everything else. So, some food for thought for you. And that may or may not be, you're welcome. She says, needed that. May or may not be your experience, but that's my take on it.